So my name is Seán Kelly, a 30-year-old dairy farmer. I would have always taken life as it came. Nothing would have ever knocked me, nothing would have ever fazed me. And in 2020, something happened in my personal life that it knocked me for six. And it took me a long time to actually realise that there was a problem. For 5 months, I was in a very bad place mentally. Wasn't eating right, wasn't sleeping right. My physical health was very poor. I suppose for 5 months I struggled myself because I thought, no, I can deal with this myself, I can take it on. I don't want reaching out for help, I don't want bothering someone else with my problems. It was just a negative cycle, and it was like me digging a hole, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, and things weren't getting better. And I suppose after 5 months, I sat home. It was January 2nd, 2021. It was a Saturday evening, and I just said, either one of two things are going to happen here. Either this cycle is going to continue and it's going to break me, or I'm going to have to break this cycle. So then on that Saturday evening, I rang one of my best friends, and I knew he had gone through something personally as well. So I had a chat with him on the phone, and just kind of, look, he knew things were bad at me as well. And we just kind of talked about like therapy and all that, reaching out for help and the avenues to go down. And I looked it up online, but I was more confused after online than I was beforehand, because there was just so much information available, and I didn't know what road to go down. January that year, then I started seeing a professional to get help with dealing with my mental health and battling the issues that was going on. I suppose like one thing, when I first went to therapy, I thought it would be like going into a room, she'd flick a light switch and it would all be better, but like in reality it took a while to break down. It took a long time for me to actually trust her, to give her all the information that she needed to deal with it, so she understood where I was coming from, what happened, and how I felt about the issues and everything. And I suppose like one thing I learned is even the therapists don't have the answers. None of them do. But what they're absolutely brilliant in is giving you the tools to find them for yourself. Look, it was the best decision I ever made, was going for help. My life from where it was to where it is now, it's gone from it's totally immeasurable. One of the main issues that put me in a bad place was I used to always prioritise everyone else above myself. So actually prioritising myself, it was one thing I really struggled with at the start. So like one thing I did was I actually signed up to the gym and got going in the gym, and got into the gym maybe four or five times a week. That was absolutely massive, because by getting in better physical shape, I got in better mental shape as well. Like I wasn't just training my body, I was also training my mind, and that had a huge role to play, because it also got my confidence back again. Because like when things are bad, my confidence was like it was below zero, it was in the minuses. Whether after going to the gym and getting in good shape, I did feel my confidence came back in a big way, and that has a big thing to play. Even still, I'm still going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, just to get a break away from the farm. Because look, as much as I love the cows and love doing what I do, it is important to get a break away as well. Look, I'm very involved in mocking the farm as well. Like that's taken up a good few evenings as well. But like it's good to have a good work-life balance. And even in the last year, one thing I employed was started milking at 5 o'clock in the morning and 2:30 in the evening. That way, by 4:30 the gates close and I'm gone, and I have a life away from the cows, which is massive. Also take weekends off as well, just to get away, get a break away. That 7 days a week you're not on the farm. You have a chance to get a break and you have a life away from the cows, which I think is massively important. Like, ever since that, like the farm has got from strength to strength. I've built my own house. Things in my personal life, I never thought I'd be to where I'm at in my personal life. And even like ever since going through the issues, like I've done a lot of talks on mental health, because I suppose like one thing, when people hear that like I struggled, they would have said like, Jesus lad, never would have thought that would have ever faced you. Nothing ever, whenever you go out, you're laughing, you're joking and all that kind of, you're always having the crack. People never would have associated me with struggling mentally and being in a bad place. So like, and then like when people say like, Jesus, if it happened to you, it can happen to anyone. I think it's nearly an Irish thing that like reaching out for help is always sometimes people look at it like a sign of weakness, whether it's actually the opposite, it's a sign of strength. Like look, you're never going to get through life without reaching help on some aspect. If your pride stops you getting away reaching out for help, you're only hurting yourself in the long run. So it is very daunting and it is tough, and trust me, I know how it is hard to make that call. But once you do make it, like you'll be so glad you did make it, and then like it just it's like opening the gate that like it allows you to go to the next gear and just move on. So like it is a tough step to take, but it's one you won't regret.